Okay, everyone, this is like my third attempt at trying to give a review for Pixar Soul. So so basically, guys, this um J- Joe Gardner is this wannabe jazz musician just that just so happens to be a teaching band, being a temporary band teacher at a local middle school in New York City, and boy, let me tell you guys, Joe's class is pretty awful. E- Except for this one girl that really gets into it, but everybody else pretty much sucks. That that then on this same day, Joe finds out from the principal of the school that he's finally been offered to be the permanent band teacher instead of just part time. But Joe just so happens to get a call from one of his former students named Lamont Baker, also known as Curly, and Curly tells him that he's now the drummer of the Dorothea Williams Quartet, and that their pianist has just recently quit the quartet, and Dorothy is in the market to look for a replacement, and so and so Joe's like, yeah, I'll come down, and 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 uh, and at first everybody, Joe's kind of nervous, but 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 then he gets into what the movie calls the zone and ends up getting the gig. But before all this, Joe's mom, Mrs. Gardner, basically makes him promise that he'll finally take the permanent band leader position, because she and her husband, the late Ray Gardner, which just so happens to be the one that uh, got got Joe obsessed with jazz in the first place. Um, that all the money they spend to give Joe an education won't go in vain. So Joe's all pumped that he got the gig, and Dorothea basically tells him, "Hey, get get a good suit because our first show, show of this tour at the Keynote Club is at 9 o'clock tonight, and sound checks at 7. So Joe being so pumped and actually telling everybody about this, accidentally falls into this manhole for construction work, uh, uh, and actually ends up going to the great beyond, and and there Joe's like, hey, what the heck's happening? Why am I here? I can't die yet. My life just starting, and 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 so so Joe basically races to find a way out of the great beyond steps, which are basically shaped like a keyboard, and accidentally ends up falling into what is known as the the great before, or as it's called in the or as the rebranding has called it, the youth seminar, where also they basically get what's called the spark, what the great before is basically kept in charge by all these by all these beings known as Jerry, except for the accountant named Terry, who uh, who basically ends up and Terry's the accountant and the tracker of basically all the souls in the youth seminar and the great beyond. And Joe learns through one of the Jerrys that the only way he even has a chance of finding a way back down to Earth is if he mentors another soul and helps them find their spark. Well, at the orientation for all the newest mentors, Joe ends up getting mistaken for this world famous shrink. This world famous shrink, and actually ends up getting paired with the most resistant soul of all, simply called 22, and 22's the one soul who absolutely, for whatever reason, actually has no desire to leave the great before to actually go down to Earth at all. And so her and Joe basically make the deal that if he can help 22 get her spark, she'll 22 will give Joe her Earth pass, and he can get back to Earth in time for his big gig. But what ends up happening is Joe after going to the Hall of You, which is basically where all the mentor souls can basically show their proteges what they basically done with their life. Although after examining his life through a different perspective, Joe eventually, unfortunately, comes to realize that wow, my life up until this point kind of had no meaning, no purpose. It wasn't fulfilling. And so then after trying basically all the different places in the youth seminar to help 22 find her spark, eventually Joe and 22 accidentally do end up getting a Earth pass, but also accidentally manage to fall back into a portal that leads back to Earth. And this, actually, I'm incorrect, guys. 22 is basically so desperate to get rid of Joe so she can be left alone she offers to introduce him to her friend Moonwind, and Moonwind basically creates this ritual portal that basically shows Jill that 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 he's basically been lying there in a hospital bed, all beat up since his accident down the construction manhole, and Jill and 22 accidentally end up falling into the portal together, but before it's actually big enough. And what ends up happening is 22 ends up in Jill's body, and Jill actually ends up in his own therapy cat's body. And what happens is 22 actually ends up falling in love with life after Jill basically teaches her how to basically operate his body. But the not to mention 22 discovers that she has this intense food, this intense love of pizza, and basically Joe's whole goal is to basically get Moonwind to create another basically they find Moonwind on planet Earth, and he's basically this crazy whacked out hippie that's basically in charge of basically spinning the hot dog sign for his mom's or maybe his wife or girlfriend's hot dog shop, and he says he can't do anything to create a way to swap out their souls until 6:30 that night, which would literally leave Jill with only a half an hour or maybe less to get to the to get to Dorothea's sound check in time to actually start the show on time. But before all this happens, 22 basically discovers that, hey, she does enjoy life, but the problem is she only figures this out after through basically using Joe's life and his spark to figure that out for herself. And what ends up happening is after Joe and 22 basically have their falling out, 22 ends up basically helping one of Joe's current students, Connie, and from not quitting the band because she's good at it, and Joe and 22 actually finally do convince Mrs. Gardner that maybe Joe's dream of playing in a jazz quartet really is what he was meant to do. That's his purpose in life, and 22 even helps Joe's Barbara Dez basically figure out, hey, maybe Des didn't want to be a barber for his actual job, but it's what he's really good at. It's his fulfillment in life, and eh, 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 and basically, guys, eventually, uh, J- Joe finally does get back in his own body, to 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 basically play Showtime with the quartet, but Curly basically informs him that that even after Moonwind gets 22 and Joe back in their own respective places, um, that he's just about arrived too late because Dorothy had kind of gave up on him, but she convinces, but Joe convinces her to give him one last shot to play the show anyway, and then after it's over, um, Joe basically comes to peace and says, "Hey," um, and says, "Hey, I I I finally have gotten to do what I wanted, and and, hey, maybe it really would be alright if I finally just finally had to go back to the great beyond before then." And then Joe finds out from Moonwind that 22 had basically turned into a lost soul, and Joe finally gets 22 to calm down after basically apologizing for it, and it's through Joe just basically re- relaxing at his empty apartment now, and finally going to the keyboard in his house one more time, and basically playing kind of almost like this very beautiful, I, I guess you could kind of call it exit music. Joe gets back into the zone and just basically becomes a plain soul again, and then and then Terry finally catches Joe like he's been trying to do throughout the whole entire movie, and after Joe gets 22 back down to her normal shape, 22 finally actually gets her own Earth pass, and then and then the and then the movie ends with Joe saying, "No, it's all right, kid. I finally got to do what 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 I always wanted to. Now it's finally your turn to give your own honest try at living a fulfilling life." And then Joe basically takes 22 as far as he can to the Earth foil, because unless both departing souls have an Earth pass, a non-soul Earth asked either will just eventually get sucked back into the great before or the great beyond. And then Joe basically says, good, good luck to 22, and then basically right as the movie's ending, basically ends up right back at the steps of the great beyond, and then basically finds out from this, and then basically finds out from the same version of Jerry that he met as the movie began, because of everything that Jill did to help 22 out. That Jerry and him a fresh pass to truly give him a fresh start at redoing life over again. And then Jerry basically asked Jill what's he gonna do with this second chance at life, and then the last words of the movie that Jill said is, I don't know, but I'm gonna live every minute of it. So yeah, guys, that's the story of Soul all wrapped up in a bow. Um, my 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 the the only part I wish that they had shown us is what or who uh number 22 actually turns in, actually grows into, but overall, guys, I did like Soul a lot. I do kind of agree with the consensus that perhaps the 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 the, the movie could have spent kind of a bit more time on Earth, but at the end of the day, guys, I truly think that even though Soul has gotten kind of a mixed bag, it 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 does sort of offer up a different lesson, kind of like Upton, which is still which is to basically try and tell you to be sure that 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 you basically celebrate lot your life and your life in general to the fullest extent. So 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 that way when it is finally your time, that 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 your curtain does have to drop, and you do have to die. It, it, hopefully the last thing you can think to yourself is, man, I I may be finished, but boy, I, 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 and I may have started out life by not being very fulfilled, but boy, second, this second chance I got, or this renewed look at life, made me realize I may have started out not being fulfilled, but I sure made up for it and celebrated each and every day that I had lived, and man, I'm pretty satisfied with it. So overall, guys, I think Soul is a very good and enjoyable movie, and again, it is streaming exclusively on Disney Plus.